order the meeting of Cortland City Council for today, Monday, May 19th, 2025. I invite everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a brief prayer, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege and the opportunity to serve you and to serve this city. We ask for your wisdom and guidance on the decisions before us this evening. We ask this in your name. Amen. Hey, Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
Jim Bradley.
Here.
Kathy Fleischer.
Here.
Dick McLean.
Here.
Don Moore.
Here.
John McCurry.
Here.
Scott Rowley.
Here.
Kevin Pyrus.
Here. May I have a motion for the approval of minutes from the May 5th, 2025 council meeting?
So moved. Second.
Any corrections? Can I have a roll call, please?
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John McCurry.
Yes.
Scott Rowley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kevin Pyrus.
Yes. May I have a motion for the schedule of bills to be paid totaling $248,221.48.
Moved.
Second.
Any questions? Can I have a roll call, please?
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John McCurry.
Yes.
Scott Rowley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Kevin Pyrus.
Yes. Okay, may I have approval for the bank reconciliation ending April 30th of 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call?
Don Moore.
Yes.
John McCurry.
Yes.
Scott Rowley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Kevin Pyrus.
Yes. Okay, may I have we're going to move on to old business. We have two items. First up is ordinance O-21-25, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with SE Blueprint for the digitization of the City of Cortland maps and drawings. This is the third and final reading submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
John McCurry.
Yes.
Scott Rowley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
Kevin Pyrus.
Yes. Okay, ordinance O-22-25, an ordinance authorizing the City of Cortland to enter into a contract with Shelley and Sands, Inc. for the 2025 asphalt resurfacing program. This is the third and final reading submitted by the interim service director. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second. Any questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
Scott Rowley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John McCurry.
Yes.
Kevin Pyrus.
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to new business. First up is Resolution R-22-25, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the City of Cortland, Ohio, to place her signature on the replat of Lot 13A, Malott Plot Number 1, and corrective plat, Copper Lake Plat Number 1, situated within the City of Cortland, Trumbull County, Ohio. This is submitted by the Planning, Zoning, and Building Commission. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions?
You want me to explain it?
Yeah.
This is kind of funny. This is the second time Mike Malott has done this. The first time he gave his neighbor a little plot of land to make a garden, they built a swimming pool. So now he's giving them another plot of land so they can make their garden.
Okay.
Very generous.
All right. Thank you for the explanation. Mayor, any other questions? Okay. Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John McCurry.
Yes.
Scott Rowley.
Yes.
Kevin Pyrus.
Yes. Okay, next is Resolution R-23-25, a resolution approving the solid waste management plan for the Geauga Trumbull Solid Waste Management District. This is submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Comments? Questions?
No, 60% of the municipalities within Trumbull and Geauga County have to approve this in order for their master plan to move forward. Geauga Trumbull has done an outstanding job. They support us with recycling and all kinds of different programs. So my
24th.
Wow, can't do math, but that's okay, thank you.
I can hardly wait to approve the next one.
Okay.
Second, one last from the first. All right, Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Kerry.
Yes.
Scott Riley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kevin Pirate.
Yes. Okay, next is resolution R-24-25. A resolution whereby the city of Cortland supports the renaming of Bridge 7801211 on South High Street to the Cortland Veterans Memorial Bridge in honor of all Cortland veterans that served our nation. This is submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Any questions?
No, just comments. I would like to thank State Senator Sandra O'Brien. It was because of her that we were able to get this sign through, and I would like to thank all the members of the State Senate who supported this. And we just got the sign installed today, and it will be unveiled at the Memorial Day event, which I'm sure Councilman McLean will talk about in detail later. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. Any other questions? Rhonda, can I have a roll call, please?
Dick McLean.
Yes.
Don Moore.
Yes.
John Kerry.
Yes.
Scott Riley.
Yes.
Jim Bradley.
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer.
Yes.
Kevin Pirate.
Yes. Okay, resolution R-25-25, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Trumbull County Combined Health District for the lease of space at 194 West Main Street in the city of Cortland. This is submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second. Mayor,
Okay, well,
comments?
yeah. We just finished our third and final reading for the digitization of the maps and drawings. We're proceeding to move ahead for the building of the safety service complex. So the admin staff needs to be relocated during the construction. So we were able to negotiate with the Trumbull County Combined Health District. We had a 1-year, the memorandum of understanding is for 1 year. I think there's I can't remember because I don't have it here, a 60 or 90-day out clause for either side, and it won't cost us any lease. It's only going to be payment of utilities, and we will take care of the exterior maintenance because our service employees can do that. So that's what that's for.
It was 90 days.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I couldn't remember stuff.
Any questions of the mayor?
I guess the work session, we said maybe that the plan was to keep admin and police here. That has changed since the work session.
You told us to come up with options, so that's what we're doing. We're coming up with options.
Okay. Well, before I vote on this, I want some more information.
Okay.
So, I mean, what other costs are involved? We're
moving the admin offices right now. I just told you that. We have to move them regardless of what's going on. I told you there was no lease cost.
how much more are the utilities in this building?
Patty, what do we pay for utilities in this building yearly?
Are you talking just the admin side? About $17,000.
Okay, so another $30,000.
On top of the 17?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And this move is because we cannot occupy this building once the, safety service moves forward. So we would have to be moving regardless of when, and, at this point, this is a proactive movement because the opportunity arose,
Right,
rather than us having to move when the shovel's ready to hit the ground and being subject to availability, which there isn't a lot of availability. In fact, you recall, that one of the reasons why this was such
yeah,
a win-win situation is they approached us about
yes.
leasing.
And there's not a lot of vacant space here in the city, so.
So would the police still be occupying during construction? Is there room for them to do that?
The chief, is he here? Yes, okay. With the police plan, their cars are their offices, okay? And chief, you mentioned you would work it out with, another close by municipality, maybe to hold your evidence in the meantime.
That was the deal, we would have to find someone else that could hold our evidence, we can't just put that anywhere.
Right. So there are also vaults at the bank that we can utilize to do that, so.
So they wouldn't be responsible for the utilities here then, because they wouldn't be here? Is that what you're saying? I'm just concerned about their budget because they would have an increase in utilities if admin fees.
Well, they wouldn't be responsible for that.
That's what I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
if they're not staying, I just wanna confirm that they're not gonna be charged with paying utilities for the pavilion.
Just a percentage of what they occupy now, which is
Okay.
whatever percentage is worked out in.
Well, okay, so then the general fund would just pay for the utilities during the construction, I guess.
Kevin, I'd like to understand a little bit more about this, maybe the mayor yourself, whatever. The new building that we're talking about, possibly building here behind us, I was under the impression that it was going to be for the purpose of the fire department, and that this building would not necessarily have to be vacated until some point after that was done, and we decided to do something at that point for the police department and for the city, one or the other or both. Now, are you saying now that before we can start on the fire department structure, we have to vacate this building?
Yes, and one of the reasons for that, is safety. We have a lot of elderly, residents that come here and pay their water bills. We have people that come for police reports. We can't have people coming here, because of all the machinery moving around.
One option might be to set up some payment location where they could pay their bill and not necessarily impact this entire structure just because of a few walk-up customers. You could pay the supermarket or somebody to take their bill payments. Utilities companies do that all the time. They could pay at the bank, they could pay at a lot of locations. So to say we need it just for a walk-in,
I didn't say we needed just for the walk-in utilities.
well, that was what you just mentioned.
One of
And
the
I
things,
asked
yes.
why. I had the good fortune to listen to the TV broadcast of the commissioners' meeting, which was last Tuesday. And the 911 director explained to the county commissioners in that meeting that they were going to be moving to the health department building. Is there a area for them and separate from the area that we're talking about, or are we trying to beat them to the punch and get into this building before them?
I have been an advocate of the 911 center going to, the health department for probably the past 2 years, okay? There has been no movement forward by the commissioners, okay? And I bet we could be in and out of there by the time, because on their agenda this week is, an item for $80,000 for a feasibility study for there,
I
okay?
understand, they talked about that.
Right.
They thought they could do that in 90 days or less.
Mhm. And then they have to come up with funding, which they don't have. So,
Are we in communication with them so that we're coordinating in any way, shape, or form as far as?
the health department is, because the health department is the
Okay.
entity that has the space available.
Okay. Well, I'm really not convinced that the move is necessary, and I'll be voting against it.
Do we know any more about the federal money?
We will not know, likely until October, could be even later than that. We are waiting for the next fiscal budget to come out. The state of the federal government at this point, I can't predict, when that's gonna happen.
But if the budget does include funding for, safety service complexes, priority will be given to shovel-ready projects.
Correct, and we were
Therefore-
already approved, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, for the 2025 budget. It was already on there, and then the new president came in and blew that all up. So, yes, and we've already been notified by, Representative Joyce's office. They're back in subcommittee again, right? So, we're moving forward there.
But if they were to award or appropriate money for our safety services complex, like they had done in the previous budget, it would be advantageous for us as a city to be ready to execute that at the time that, as soon as the funds are allocated to us.
Absolutely.
Rather than at that point, going through the process of trying to find temporary location, which there may or may not be availability at that time. So that's one of the reasons I think that this was, the timing was good, is that we have the ability to move there, and therefore be ready to, put shovel to ground if the money is appropriated to us.
If we get that federal money, we're gonna go with
The shovel will be out there tomorrow.
Yeah, our
The next day.
initial plan, we won't have to downsize the building at all, which is, again, one of the other things that we're talking about, so, but we just can't make that decision right now.
Do we know approximately about how long the admin would be in the bank building?
I don't know.
I saw the term was 1 year with automatic renewals.
Right,
So I just wanted to ask if
Right.
there was an idea
it all
about how
depends,
long.
it depends on when and if we get federal funding, and that's been a moving target, so, unfortunately, that's, yes, I don't know.
I know when we had the work session, at least the way that I took it on the building, is that we eliminated sort of the top, we kind of had it on the board in 3 categories, sort of eliminated that top category of the $10 to $12 million.
Right,
And we said, or at least what I came away with at that meeting was, we were going to get some options as what the building may or may not be, and guaranteed maximum price. But I know that I haven't, at least I have not taken part of any of that information, so do we have any?
no, we're working on it. One of the things, well, I told the architect and the engineer, or the, CMAR, we're gonna put a pin in it. We've got too much going on right now. We can't go out for bond funding until our audit is complete. That won't be done until the end of July. So, if we need to wait a couple more months to see whether federal funding comes through, I think it's worth waiting 60 days to see if we can get the building that we really want.
Could we then wait to do this MOU until that we know if we're actually gonna be moving out of here, if we're not, if this has been put on hold for now until we know about the federal funding? Is it kind of jumping the gun to move to the building?
I would say no. It says within 60 days, so what is now? Mid-May, so mid-July, we were planning on moving out June 1st anyways, okay? This will give us the opportunity, to get stuff down there more slowly, and like Kevin said, we have the opportunity, it's presented itself now.
At what point is construction supposed to start? Actually,
like I said, we put a pin in it now because we don't have funding in place yet. Okay? So,
is this jumping the gun then, for that standpoint, since we're not expressed to the auditor?
well,
I'm just gonna say this, so
Thank you.
to do interim funding, you can do a year note. But when you do anything longer than a year, you have to do permanent funding. They have to have your most recent audit. And our last audit, the audit that's coming up is 23 and 24. 21 and 22 is too late, so for any permanent bond funding, if we go that way, we have to have a current audit, and that probably won't be done till the end of July. We could do a one-year note, but a one-year note's not gonna do anything for us. So,
waste of money. Right? I mean,
I
for,
mean, yeah, I wanted to explain the two notes,
appreciate it.
the interim and permanent.
Does that building, does it need renovation?
It will need renovations, it's a huge, the upstairs is wide open.
Well, I mean, the health department had read that, and knew that we were going to have to, find temporary housing, and they had temporary space, so that's why they offered it to us. They,
Yeah.
they
Been
have,
sitting
they,
vacant
yeah, they have,
for a year and a half.
they have the space, they knew we needed it, and they thought that it would be beneficial for us to temporarily relocate, downtown, which,
So the renovations, according to this, will be paid by the city?
They will be.
Any estimate on that?
No, not yet. Probably between $200,000 and $400,000. 200? Oh. We'll talk about this. We can talk about this in executive session. I really don't want to. Any other questions? Call for a vote.
Rhonda, have a roll call, please.
John Moore?
I'm concerned about that cost, on the note.
John Paturi,
No.
Scott Rowley,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
No.
Kathy Fleischer. No. Dick McLean,
No.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. All right, next up is, resolution R-26-25, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a capital improvement community park recreation/conservation project pass-through grant, agreement for the Mosquito Creek Lake Park Improvement Project, submitted by the mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, again, it is exactly what Kevin read. This is the capital improvement money, provided by the state for us to build, the restroom and do some other park improvements, at the parking lot at the end of West Main Street, the ODNR property. It's a pass-through. We'll take the money that they gave us, and then it'll just go out. City's not spending any money. So, we needed this because I need to sign some stuff, and the law director needed to sign some stuff, so we need to have this approved so we can move forward on this project.
And how long has this been going on?
2022, I think.
Started in 2022.
Yeah.
Finally, we got the two different entities to talk, ODNR and the Army Corps.
Army Corps of Engineers, yes.
Any questions? Rhonda, can I roll call, please?
John Paturi,
Yes.
Scott Rowley,
Yes.
Jim Bradley,
Yes.
Kathy Fleischer. Yes. Dick McLean,
Yes.
John Moore,
Yes.
Kevin Pyros.
Yes. Okay, ordinance O-26-25, an ordinance hiring Sean Radican as the city's Director of Public Service. This is being submitted as an emergency by the mayor. May I have a motion on the ordinance, please?
So moved. Second.
May I have a motion on the emergency, please?
So moved.
Second.
Comments? Mayor?
Yes, members of council. I want to take a moment to walk through how we've arrived at this point and why I'm bringing this appointment forward today. Sean agreed to step in as interim service director, not because he had to, but as a professional courtesy to the city. He is an experienced and highly qualified consultant, and frankly, the only person with the background needed to manage the largest capital project in our city's history. We began the process of finding a new service director. I gave council the task of creating the job description. Instead, their decision was made to delegate that responsibility to Sean, a role he was never hired to perform. Then took council 2 full months to finalize the job description, mostly due to internal disagreements over what qualifications were required. The resulting search failed, and we ended up with 0 qualified applicants. To be clear, I did not ask Sean to stay on. In fact, 3 members of council approached him independently and asked him to continue in the role. Now, according to section 4.04F of our charter, the authority to appoint and remove department directors lies solely with the mayor, which is why the legislation says it's submitted by the mayor instead of submitted by council. Okay? Here's the reality. This is the final scheduled meeting before Sean's contract expires. We're up against a deadline. I will not be presenting any alternative candidates. Sean's the best choice and the best value for the city. We are paying him a salary only. We are not paying him benefits. During his time with us, Sean has realigned and stabilized the service department. He has worked closely with our architects and engineers to evaluate options for the new safety service complex. He has facilitated the relocation of city administration offices. He has negotiated the service contract. He has surveyed and assessed the service department equipment and machinery, resulting in several upgrades. He has helped the city navigate the worst winter in recent years, including a salt shortage. He is continuing to navigate the city through a 50 to 100 year flood event that has not been addressed by previous service directors, plus a myriad of other functions. This was all completed with less manpower and significantly under budget compared to prior service directors. He is also a value hire as compared to our previous service director, because again, he is being paid just a salary. He is not costing the city any benefits. He's also delivered on everything council has asked of him. I'm going to say this 2 times slowly, including eliminating the 2 associate service director positions. He has delivered on everything council has asked of him, including eliminating the 2 associate service director positions. Okay? Now, I understand that some are concerned that Sean may have other professional responsibilities. This has always been the case. He's a consultant. Yet he successfully performed the job for the last 5 months. I would respectfully point out that many of our city employees, including some of the firefighters here, members of the police department and service department, have outside responsibilities as well. Councilman Paturi, for example, has managed his responsibilities to ODOT, served as a professor at Case, and pursued his MBA. Congratulations, by the way. I want to be clear about what's at stake. Refusing to confirm this appointment undermines the responsibility I was elected to carry out as mayor. I will not continue asking for permission to do the job that the people of Portland elected me to do, to handle the executive and administrative operations of the city. I'm not asking for input on this appointment or candidate. This is my decision alone. I am asking you for your confirmation at this point of this appointment as you were required to do as is spelled out in the city's charter. To me, this is a turning point in our relationship. I would like to continue to work with council going forward. If council decides not to move forward with this appointment, I want to be transparent. It will impact how we continue to work together moving forward. My willingness to extend professional courtesy has its limits. And I'm going to go so far as to suggest that if council leaves the city without a service director, that would border on malfeasance, or non-feasance. That's all I've got to say.
I'd like to move we go into executive session to discuss personnel, appointment of public employee, include law director, mayor, finance director, and housing.
Jim Bradley?
Roll call on the
Executive
session? Yes.
Kathy Fleischer?
Yes.
Dick McLean?
Yes.
Don Moore?
Yes.
John Burry?
No.
Scott Rowley?
Yes.
Kevin Pyrus?
Yes. We will adjourn to a executive session. No action at this session will be executed, and then, we will return and resume and pick up with ordinance O-26-25 after the executive session. So, all those invited to the executive session